Okay. I'm all right. We're live. I'm not gonna bother sending this out anywhere because I don't want to risk it fucking up again. But if you guys, if you guys have notifications turned on, and you want to say something in the chat, feel free to do so. Or if not, if you'd like to say what you were gonna say, then just comment later. But hey guys, James MC Reviews here, and welcome to my first ever live review. And as you can see, it did not go according to plan. We tried this like one other time, and it like just kept messing up for some reason. But it's fixed now, thank God. Hopefully, it'll stay this way for the whole stream. But I'm here with Glendilen, my girlfriend.
Hi.
Welcome. It's the first time you are in, like, we're in a video, like, well, not together, but, like, the past couple of times I've had you in a video, it's been, like, separate recordings, but, like, here it's, like, yeah. So,
it's either a separate recording,
anyway,
or I'm, like unmuting myself from your phone and just intervening
right.
in the middle of a review.
Right. But yeah, so we're here to talk about Frozen 2. This is the long-awaited, long-anticipated sequel to I believe, the highest-grossing animated movie of all time.
Really?
I might be wrong on that, but I think Frozen, the first one, became the highest-grossing animated movie. I could be wrong. Feel free to actually me in the comments, but just a quick spoiler warning. The first half of this review, we will be going no spoilers. So if you just want to hear our thoughts on the movie, you're safe in that regard. But the rest of the movie, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. So if you don't want to know anything about it, if you're interested in seeing it, then we will give a warning. We will give an indicator when to turn off. Yeah, so if you are trying to avoid spoilers, we will let you know. But for everyone else,
like being spoiler free.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a great movie.
I mean, even honestly, even if you do get some stuff spoiled, like, you're still not ready for what. But so first off, I feel like it's important to talk about where this all started, and talk about what we think of the first one. So, babe, you go first. What did you think of the first movie?
Well, I tried, as you know, tried to rewatch it, and it was. I'd give it a save, like, just to start there. It wasn't a horrible movie, but it wasn't like worth all the hype and
right.
I guess fame that it got. Like, it was good. And I was like 13 or 14 when I first watched it, and at that time, of course, I loved it. It had great singing. It was a kids movie.
Right.
And this movie, Frozen 2, it definitely ages up with you. But I'm still focusing on the first movie, anyways.
Right.
First movie. But you can spoil the first movie, right?
Yeah, you can spoil the first movie. I don't care. I mean, even if you haven't seen the first movie, this movie will remind you of what happened in the first movie multiple times.
The plot, I don't want to say it's generic, but it's nothing like super. It's not phenomenal in my opinion. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I like that I enjoy rewatching.
Yeah, and I mean, as for me, I avoided the first Frozen like the plague for several years. I'm like, this movie is so stupid. I don't get the appeal. Like, I don't want to even bother with it. And then when, everyone started overhyping it, and it just became this, like, absolute, like, animated juggernaut, and, the merchandise was everywhere, the music was everywhere. That made me even more, like, kind of hesitant about going to see it because I'm like, I mean, I don't want to be drawn into the hype. I mean, I'm sure it's a fine movie. It at least looks
You don't
nice,
want to
but I
become that
mean,
person.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to, or I want to be a leader, not a follower, and I don't want to be. I don't want to give this movie the satisfaction of of like adding to the hype. So I avoided it for the longest time, and then obviously when the sequel was announced and when it was coming out, I figured, well, okay, the hype has finally died down. Everyone has finally shut up about it, and I feel like it's as good as time as any to like at least to watch it just to say that I saw it. So I watched it, and I mean, like you sort of said, it was fine. Like if I was being really, really generous, I would probably give it a 3 out of 5. If I wasn't being generous, then I'd probably give it a 2.5. Um, but like, it was not worth 6 years of unbridled praise. It was like, the animation is amazing. Like I'll give it that. The animation is really, really great. The music is kind of bland and boring. I mean, like, it's catchy. I'll give it that. I mean, I've heard it everywhere, and I do know most of the words, but that's just because, like I said, I've heard it everywhere. I mean, the characters are kind of dull. It's predictable. The twists are, I could see them coming a mile away, and there are so many like unanswered questions and like plot points that they just forget about and just ignore. And I mean, like I said, I wouldn't call it a bad movie, but it's not a good movie either. And that made me really nervous going into this movie. But then when I was seeing some of the trailers and how shrouded in mystery it was, and how it didn't really give away any of the plot, except for basically them going on a journey and something's going wrong in the kingdom or something like that. Aside from that, they really didn't give you anything away, and I kind of appreciated that, and it kind of got me a little bit excited, even for someone who like didn't really care about Frozen too much up until this point. What were your expectations going into the movie?
I didn't watch. I only watched like one, maybe two trailers going into it because I wanted to be as blind as possible.
Right.
And it was funny because like James got to see it like a few days before I did, so
oh god, it was so painful trying not to spoil shit in this movie.
Got to a point where you had to send pictures with like no context. Why I think okay, never mind, it's fine. It's because I adjusted. It's because I pushed my desk slightly and my phone freaked out. It was like, oh, I guess the camera's not working.
We're all good. We're all good.
My expectations. Where was I?
You didn't see any trailers. You wanted to go into it as unspoiled as possible.
Didn't see any trailers. It got like I had you layers of like out context. That's
yeah, like,
topic.
Yeah, like those out of context trailers.
But at first I wasn't sure what to expect. At first I thought maybe it would come out overhyped. Like kind of like the first movie was. It was like, oh, super great movie. Look at this here. You're gonna go see it in theaters. It's gonna be great. And it turns out it's like a mediocre movie. I don't think this one was overhyped at all, and I really appreciate the way the trailers were done because it doesn't reveal too much about the plot and going in, I really didn't know what to expect.
I'd rather have vague trailers that don't tell me anything than a super detailed trailer that gives away the ending of the movie in the trailer. And like for me personally, like I said, as someone who didn't really care about Frozen up until that point, I was kind of going in with mixed expectations. I mean, it looked pretty. Like the trailers, the animation looked really nice, and I was interested to see what would happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was just, like another mediocre Disney movie. And goddamn, was this surprising. Like, I really ended up liking this movie. Like, I go so far as to say it's like, and I mean, granted, like I said, this is coming from someone who didn't think that much of the first movie to begin with, but I honestly think this is better than the first movie. Musically, it's so much better. Plot-wise, it's better. Animation-wise, it's fucking gorgeous. I saw this on IMAX, and if you can see it on IMAX, definitely do it. Because just the colors and the backgrounds and everything, like Disney has been killing it with their animation these past couple of years, and this one, like they completely like kicked it up to 11. And like the story had me intrigued. I didn't always know where it was going to go. There are some problems that I have with it that I'll get more into detail with in the spoiler section. But I mean, like, like I said, this is someone who didn't care about Frozen going into this with like little to no expectations and just being absolutely blown away. So, what about you, babe? What did you think of the movie?
Fuck, sorry.
No, you're all right.
I wasn't ready for the question. What I think of the movie, I thought it was great. I'm glad I got to see it on the release day. I wish I could have seen it with a bigger crowd. I wish I could have seen it without two kids who were talking in the middle of the movie on both sides of me.
That's one thing. Sorry to interrupt, but like,
you're fine. Go ahead.
Like, I saw it. I've seen this movie twice now, and there were kids in my audience. Both times, the kids were well behaved, so I was really happy about that. But, like, apparently, like there were a bunch of people talking in your audience.
It wasn't that bad, but like I would be fully invested in the plot, like trying to listen, and I would hear this kid like mumbling a question to her mom, and she like repeated a joke at one point that like I think Olaf said, and I was sitting here and I was like, can this mother please tell her kid to kindly quiet down?
But
the movie, it's beautiful, as you said.
Oh yeah.
I love the colors. It's a lot less blue than the first movie. The first movie wasn't that colorful, like going through it. I mean, some parts are, but it's mostly blue. It's mostly snow. This one, you've got all sorts of colors. You got all sorts of environment. I loved visuals. The music is. I want to listen to more of it. You were the one humming them before I could even like watch the movie, and you would get like 2 seconds into a song and immediately.
Honestly, like that's how bad I did not want to spoil. Like I didn't even want her to hear any of the music before going into the movie because like I didn't hear any of the songs going into it, and I was just blown away. Like the music in this is so awesome. Like, and I mean, not all the songs land. Like, Olaf has another song in this, and it's not great.
It's really not bad. It's not.
I didn't care
phenomenal.
For it. I didn't like it. I just thought it brought the movie to a screeching halt, and I mean, like,
I do get.
It wasn't even that catchy. Like, at least In Summer is kind of hummable, but still.
In summer. It wasn't catchy. It really wasn't, and I can't say more about it. All I'd say is, man, this went from how did I like the movie to how did I like this song.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can go more into detail in just a little bit, but like, wrapping up the non-spoiler section, really solid movie. It has its problems in terms of story, but I would say it was a lot more mature than the first movie. Oh, sorry, Gage is messaging me. Just get back to that later.
Tell him the live stream.
But I wonder if that's what he's messaging me about.
Tell him right now.
But I'll get to him later. But anyway, so it's a definitely more mature story. It acknowledges the fact that its audience has grown significantly since the first movie. Like, you got to remember that the first movie came out 6 years ago. Like, fuck, I'm old. How did that movie come out 6 years ago? But yeah, like, it acknowledges that and it completely runs with that. Not all the way. I mean, it is still a Disney movie after all, and I'll get more into detail about that later. But you know, there does feel like a lot more stakes. There's a lot more suspense. It's shrouded in mystery. All your favorite characters are back, except for, I was going to say. I was going to make a joke, but I completely messed it up. But yeah, all the characters are back. The voice acting is great. And yeah, just really solid movie. And that's about all I can say without spoiling it. Babe, your thoughts before we go into spoiler section?
Movie was a solid 4 out of 5. I would highly recommend it if you'd like to go in it unspoiled. But if you do, I don't blame you either. It would still be amazing to watch, even like if you have been spoiled, as Jay said.
Yeah. And if we're doing our rankings now, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5 as well. Like I said, not perfect, but still enjoyable, especially coming from someone who is not a fan of Frozen. So
you're a fan of Frozen 2 and Frozen 2 only.
Yes, exactly. No, I'm a fan of Olaf's Frozen Adventure. Remember that fucking gem that played before Coco? Oh God.
I don't. I don't think I ever got to watch it. No, I should have. I went to see Coco. I don't know. I meant
wonder
to.
if maybe you saw it when they took it out, because I remember like the first couple of weeks that the movie was showing.
Yeah, because I remember
they had that short.
My mom saw it late.
Got mad, so they took it out.
They got mad? Why?
They got mad because they were like, I came to see, especially like like the people in Mexico that saw the movie early. They were like, what is this? I came to see this awesome, beautiful movie, and I'm seeing the fabulous misadventures of Josh Gad's Snowman. So, so like the theater stopped playing it.
It's funny.
But anyway, spoilers. We're gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie. If you don't want to see or hear any plot details or details about the music or details about the characters or anything like that, click off this video now. Go watch the movie and then come back and watch it or watch the rest of this later. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys later. I'll give you guys a minute to click off.
1, 2.
All right, here we go. Elsa fucking died. No, I'm kidding. So basically, the story is, I mean, like you get a basic idea from what it is in the trailer. So like basically, Elsa is hearing like voices that she thinks might tell her something about the past and about like her family and like, you know, where what her powers are for and stuff like that. And she somehow wakes up the spirits of this enchanted forest that her dad told her about. The basically like the different elements. You got the earth spirit, the fire spirit, the water spirit, the wind spirit. I turned to the person next to me when they were given that whole like backstory about the forest, and they were like, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. But yeah, so like basically, her, Ahna, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven have to go on this adventure to this enchanted forest and try and see if they can make peace with the elemental spirits and, you know, stop them from like messing up the kingdom, and you know,
because they kicked everybody out of the kingdom, like the spirits did.
Yeah, and basically, like, meanwhile, Kristoff is trying to figure out how to propose to Ahna, but he can't figure out the right words. He's kind of awkward. He what was it? He like she also, although like she's kind of like misinterpreting everything he's saying too, which I mean um like like some of these things I'm like, really? I had some problems with the Kristoff and Anna in this movie, but yeah, so that's happening, and then
you don't think we're gonna get out of here?
like, under different circumstances, this would be kind of romantic. Different circumstances? You mean with someone else? But anyway, so basically,
Why did he say that?
at some point, but yeah, so in some point in the movie, they all like kind of get split up and separated. Elsa travels to this frozen island called Atahalan, where she thinks that the voice is, and it turns out it's actually her dead mom, who I guess has magical powers, but they don't explicitly say that. But yeah, she finds out that she is the fifth spirit, because apparently there was a fifth spirit, and uh, and then she goes and figures out why the spirits are so angry, and it turns out that the the people of Arendelle kind of screwed over the North Uldra. Is that what they're called? I think so, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So they basically screwed
Because in
over.
the beginning, I was gonna say in the beginning, when their dad was like telling them the story about how like him and the Enchanted Forest with the Arendelians and Arendelians meeting and
Right.
like getting in this battle that trapped some of them there.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the people of Arendelle screwed over the North Uldra by building this dam as like a gift of peace, because and they tricked them into thinking that it was going to like strengthen their
The king
waters
at the
and
time.
benefit them. Yeah, and benefit them, but it was actually hurting them. Uh, and the king was basically being all prejudiced against magic and stuff like that, and that led to a big fight between all of them. And then the angry spirits trapping everyone in the forest for however many years. Um, and basically, they come to the conclusion that the dam has to go down, and Arendelle has to be destroyed in order for the spirits to set everyone free. And I mean, as the story goes on, it progressively gets a lot like I want to say darker, but I mean, it still comes from sort of a lighthearted place. But I mean, it does get more serious. There is like genuine like danger and suspense, and especially in that last third, like the movie does something sad, it does something dark, and it does something bold. So at first, it shows Elsa in kind of that whole like the journey that you like the thing that you see in the trailers of her running across the water and uh, riding a fucking water horse. Can we talk about that for a second? she's, she's riding a water horse. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, so like I said, she makes it to Atahala, and she finds out about her past. She figures out a way to stop everyone, and when she heads down into this one area, she ends up like getting like so cold, and she starts freezing to death. And but right before she completely freezes up, she like sends Anna like a vision of like what to do and how to stop everyone. So Elsa's presumably dead, even though she's coming back.
I thought she would die. I was hoping she would die.
I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about that. Why did you want her to die?
I feel it would really put how much weight like on a putting the bridge down in her wake would words. I feel like it would give value to Anna's actions since Elsa isn't there to like, be there for her and like take care of it. I feel like it gives her like seeing her in grief. Just like I feel like I saw her change into like a whole other character that like had to pull through and like get her own strength and like be there for not just her people but for the Northadians.
But no, actually, honestly, you're not wrong. I agree with that. Like, and I mean that leads into something else that happens in the movie is at some point Elsa sends Anna and Olaf away because she doesn't want anything bad happening to them, and they end up in this cave and they go exploring and they get kind of lost, but eventually they find a way out. But right before they do, because Elsa presumably died, that means that her magic is no longer there. So the magic keeping Olaf alive is like dissipating and he's like slowly disappearing. And he basically just like disintegrates in her arms, which I mean, like, I don't like Olaf. So like that didn't really get to me. But at the same time, I was. Anna, I don't feel so good. But like, I mean, like, even as someone who doesn't really like Olaf as a character, and I mean, I didn't really care for him that much in this movie either, but we'll talk about that in a second. But even I was like, Jesus Christ, Disney. Like, I almost wanted to see, like, I almost wish I could see all the, like, kids in the audience's reaction to seeing, like, one of their favorite characters just dying. But, like, yeah, so, like, Elsa's dead, Olaf's dead, and now Anna is like,
and not only that, but
like you said,
like vanished. Like to Anna, he did like literally. There was a point in the story where Kristoff like left like in the middle of the night, and to Anna, she just assumed that he had just
exactly. So
that
like
didn't come up like.
Well, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But yeah. So Elsa's dead, Olaf's dead, Kristoff is nowhere to be found. Anna's basically alone, and she's all sad and depressed. But then she realizes, she has to, take action into her own hands and do the next right thing to set everyone free and put the spirits at peace or whatever. So, she wakes up the rock trolls and she leads them to the dam, and she gets them to tear down the dam, and the waters.
Rock trolls.
Not the rock trolls. Sorry, they're the rock giants. Basically, that's what I meant. The rock trolls are in this though. They just like they show up and spout more like vague exposition, and then they don't show up again. But yeah, so she gets the rock giants.
They don't get a song.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, she wakes up the rock giants. She gets them to tear down the dam, and the waters start to flood. The kingdom has already been evacuated. So, yeah, so the kingdom turned to dust as well, but no. So the kingdom's already been evacuated, so everyone else is safe. But it's looking like the kingdom is going to be torn apart by this flood, and that they're all going to have to like relocate, probably ending up having to like build a new civilization in the Enchanted Forest. And honestly, if it went that way, I would have given this a 5 out of 5. Like, I was going to be like, I did not see something like that coming from a movie like Frozen 2. And I respect yeah, like I respect that so much. And it was almost there. And then fucking, Elsa with her water horse comes riding through the distance and just puts up a giant ice barrier and saves the day. And I mean, like, how did you feel about that?
What I thought was gonna happen was like, because it looked like Elsa when she got unfrozen from the dam being like broken. I thought she would be like passed out as the water like carries her back. So I thought at first like the water would tear down the city and she'd like wake up and see it like demolished, and she'd like know that like the dam got broken and like that Anna did it. I feel like I don't know why. I thought she was gonna have to like make an ice city for them.
Just starts building ice castles for everyone.
You get a castle. You get a castle. Everybody gets castles.
Who wants to ride on my water horse? But no, I mean, I get it. It's Disney. You got to have your happily ever after. You got to tie up everything in a nice little bow. But I mean, if it went there, it would have been so subversive and so like different and so. I would have just gained a whole like ton of more respect for the movie if it went that route. But I mean, the ending that it does have is fine. I mean, it seems to like wrap up everything so that there isn't a Frozen 3. Which honestly, I don't even think that I would want a Frozen 3 after this.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it hinted towards maybe like an episodic thing, which I wouldn't want either. With the comment that like Olaf made, like, is this gonna turn into some like another adventure?
Yeah, putting us in mortal danger thing gonna become a regular thing with you? No, we're done. I really hope they are done after this. Because like, I mean, there are obviously other adventures that you can explore, but I mean, like, the two sisters are separated, obviously not permanently. It's implied that they go and visit each other from time to time. You know, Anna's the new queen. Elsa's living it up in the forest with, the Northaldrins and her water horse. Olaf is still annoying. Kristoff and Anna are married. And I mean, there's not really anything else that you can explore. So I don't know, but
did we mention Olaf retelling the
okay, so let's talk about the comedy in this, because like the comedy is pretty good. And I mean, Olaf, like I said, I didn't really like him in the first one, and he was kind of hit and miss in this one. Like, there were some comments that he made that got a genuine chuckle out of me. But probably one of the funniest jokes that he does is where he literally reenacts the first Frozen for the Arendelians and the Northaldrins. And like, not only are his reactions, but like seeing King Matthias's face, or General Matthias's face, and his reactions, like when he's like,
Lieutenant.
"Psych, I'm the bad guy." Lieutenant?
Yeah, I think it's Lieutenant. No, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, so whatever he is, something Matthias. But like seeing his reactions, so like when Olaf's talking about like, oh, Hans is the bad guy, and he's like, oh my god, no. Lieutenant Matthias was actually a really good character. Like, the voice actor did really great. He got some good like jokes in here and there. So, and all the cast does a really good job. All the voice actors are back. Idina Menzel, Kristen Bell, Kristoff's voice actor. Fuck, I'm gonna look this up. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, babe. All I remember is Jonathan Groff.
I think that's it.
Isn't that Olaf?
No, Josh Gad is Olaf, and Jonathan Groff is
okay.
Olaf. But yeah, all of them are back, and they're just as good as ever. There are some new faces. Sterling K. Brown is Lieutenant Matthias. Like I said, he's really good. Martha Plimpton, who I've never seen her in anything before. Hold on, let me see. Oh, she was in the Goonies? How do I not remember that?
I never watched the Goonies.
But yeah, she was in this as Yolana, the leader of the Northaldra, and she was pretty good. The one cast member that really surprised me, and who I didn't expect to see in this, but when I found out who it was, I'm like, oh my god. It's fucking Jason Ritter. Fucking Dipper Pines has a cameo in Frozen 2. And like,
like it's so like cause of how much I watch Gravity Falls, like it's instantly recognizable. So like I heard it, I'm like, wait, was that Dipper? Did Dipper just make a cameo in this movie? And then he's kept talking. I'm like, oh my god, it's Dipper. But like, but yeah, all the cast does a really good job, and every cast member gets a song. The songs in this are really, really good. It's weird because like, well, actually, before I go into the songs, babe, what did you think of the cast? And
they were all spot on, honestly. Like, I can't sit here and think of an actor who like could have been better. Like, I feel like they all played their parts really great. I feel like, especially like Idina Menzel's, I probably butchered her voice or name there. Her voice was so powerful during her songs, and it was so great.
And getting into the songs, it's weird because the music in the first one was everywhere, and like I've heard it so much, like I remember it more, even though I don't like it as much. But
like this one feels more like it was put in like a musical kind of way.
Yeah. And I mean, like the songs in this actually like feel like they're progressing the story, whereas the songs in the first one didn't really.
Yeah, but like sort of like a pause and like sit in this moment.
Yeah, and I mean, like, not every song is a hit. Like I said, Olaf has a song, "When I'm Older," and it's not good. It's really not good. The first song in the movie, "Some Things Never Change," which reminded me all too much of the first like 10 to 15 minutes of the movie had me really nervous because it was all too similar to the first one. And like that, Things Never Change was like one of the big factors in that. And like, I mean, it was
like fine. It felt like it's just, for the first time in forever part 2.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, it was fine. The Next Right Thing, even though like lyrically and musically it's not the best, it does have a really nice message, and Kristen Bell's performance is really really good and really powerful. Into the Unknown, which is going to get all the Oscars, I'm sure. Like, both Idina Menzel's version that plays in the movie and the Panic at the Disco version that plays over the end credits. Like, honestly, I like the Panic at the Disco version more. Like, I mean, like, Idina Menzel's version works for the movie, and it's
the lyrics are a little awkward in my opinion. Like in the first part, but like it picks up.
Yeah, and I mean, like, her like. It's really, you know, with her voice and her performance in the movie, it's really powerful and it sounds really nice and everything like that. But the Panic at the Disco version fucking slaps. Like, I'm sorry, it is so good.
No,
like,
I don't blame you. God, don't get mad. I don't remember the singer's name, but he has such
Brendan Urie.
Brendan Urie. He has an amazing like vocals.
Yeah,
like, he can go high, he can go probably low.
No, and the way he did like the voice in that part of the song, that was so good. But the one that is, I don't care if I get hate for this, the one that is the best song in the movie is fucking Kristoff's song, "Lost in the Woods," which is a fucking 90s power ballad.
He's playing a game where like I could ask him questions and he had to answer it without spoiling it. And one of my questions was, does Sven have a song? And he goes, yes, actually.
Oh my god.
I didn't know what you meant until I was in the theater. And the deer started fucking talking.
So like Kristoff is tries like this way of proposing to Ahna, and they end up finding out that
she left later.
Yeah, she left earlier in the day to go with Elsa, and he missed his chance, and he's getting all sad and thinking that she doesn't care about him anymore, and he goes into just he goes into, like I said, just this '90s power ballad, complete with like synth guitar and fucking
like the fade in of his face and one
music video editing, like using like the pine cone as like the microphone, like, oh yeah, and then like the reference to now do you get what I meant when I sent the picture of Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, with the deer and the reindeer singing or backup vocals, like, oh my god, I was rolling when I saw that. It was so good. But what did you think of the music?
Like all of the music.
I mean, you can give your thoughts on like all the individual songs as well if you want.
Yeah, I loved the music. Some of them didn't hit, as you said. Some of them did. The ones I loved, like you said, in the right way. I watched this movie like how many hours ago? Like 5 hours ago. In the right. I'm not gonna remember it. The meaning was well. Like you said, lyrics could have been better, but it was a really powerful scene. I love seeing Ahna like rise up. Olaf's song was alright. I know you didn't like it. I personally, I was sitting there and I was like, you know, Olaf, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna realize nothing ever makes more sense.
Yeah, things make less sense when you're older.
Things make less sense when you're older. That is a true statement, babe. My favorite one was what was the other one? Show Yourself. That one.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
That one was probably one of the most powerful songs, even more so than Into the Unknown in the movie. It's where I'll just go into detail since you didn't mention it. It's when like Elsa is like going into I can't pronounce the name, James.
Wait, what?
Into the what's the island called?
Akahalan.
When Elsa's going through there looking for the truth, to talk to her dead mom, which apparently, what was that one website that said it was a lesbian duet?
Yeah, like when she was buying, or when she was looking up a poster for when she was putting out her announcement that we were going to do this live stream, we were there was an article that she found where the headline was Frozen 2 shows Elsa doing a lesbian duet with her dead mom, and I'm like, oh my god.
I wonder if I can still find it. No, it's not showing up. Why would you? It didn't. It showed it once and then it didn't. I don't. It's Frozen 2, the first Disney movie with an overly gay lead. And like,
we'll talk about
that. We'll talk about that. I'm getting sidetracked. There's a lot to talk about with this movie. And something. Show Yourself. Sorry. Can't remember the name. It's a very powerful song. It was one of those songs I almost cried while watching. And like,
yeah, it was a really good song.
As she's like, Elsa's getting more confident and like excited to like figure out like where her power comes from. She's like going through, like pushing away big ice blocks that are knocked over. You know, I was thinking about this. I was like, man, the other elements like they wanted to go north and then they didn't for some reason. Because they were hearing the noise too. But she goes down, she finds the truth, and like I think the song ended like as she was finding the truth. But like it was a great song.
Right.
What other songs? Anna's song in the beginning felt like, as I said, First Time Forever Part 2.
The lullaby that her mom sings about.
I love that one too. I love like.
It's a good opening song.
I love folklorist songs, and like especially when they were all like chanting like in the big circle as well.
Na na ha hey.
Na 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 na. Is there anything I'm missing?
Not that I can think of.
Like, part of me wanted to like pull up the soundtrack, but
Like
it's not.
the soundtrack in the movie was better than the first one, but I'm not sure if it's going to be as memorable as the first one because like the first one the soundtrack was everywhere. Like you couldn't escape Let It Go or Do You Want to Build a Snowman or For the First Time in Forever.
Because like those are stuff you could play at like a kids camp, but like with this one, they like follow the story really closely. Like it wouldn't make sense.
You could play Into the Unknown like.
Yeah, you could.
Actually, the Panic version, like you could play that at a club or something.
They probably would, honestly. I could see it.
And since you brought it up earlier, and I know people are going to grill me if I don't at least mention it. So, early on, when this movie was announced, there was a big campaign, or there are people speculating that Elsa. Oh, there we go. So there were people speculating that
my camera's good. It's just having. It just does that sometimes.
Okay. But yeah, so there were people speculating that Elsa was actually a closeted lesbian, and there were people campaigning for them to give her a girlfriend in the sequel. And I mean, they kind of do. I mean, like it's kind of like the merchant in the first one. Like it's canon if you want it to be, but they don't like explicitly say it. And I'm kind of like, really, like you can't just go there. Like, I mean, you know, like I feel like we've gotten to a point where like gay characters in kids media is normal. And I mean, like the whole like themes of the movie about, you know, kind of like finding your true self and being comfortable with who you are and stuff like that is, I mean, you know, not even being subtle about like the messages it can send to like the LGBT community. So I don't know, like so what I'm talking about is there's a scene where Elsa is talking with one of the Northuldra girls, Honey Marin is her name, and they kind of like, it's kind of like implied flirting, and it's kind of like it. If she was a major character, then she might have ended up being Elsa's girlfriend. And you know, like I said, it's there if you want it to be canon, but they don't explicitly say
Yeah.
it. Like
when I watched it, I didn't even notice it. Right. But like, if you wanted it to be there, you know, that's your decision, I guess.
Right.
That sounded really blunt. I didn't mean it in a blunt way. I meant.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Would you want? I mean, would you want them to give her a girlfriend, or
not just to give her a girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, like,
if there was a connection between the characters, you know, because we barely know Honey Marin.
Yeah, she's kind of just there, and like,
you know, she was there to give plot.
Yeah.
And plot direction, and that was about it. I wouldn't want her to be her girlfriend just because, you know, she was there.
Right.
Like, it would be nice to see, but, you know, I'd like to know more about her.
Right, exactly. Let's see, what are we forgetting? So
character development. Yeah. I wanted to touch on that.
There were some pretty bold character choices, like if that's the right word, like with Kristoff's storyline, it's like kind of like I said, it's really cliche and kind of like cringe, and it's like you're sat there, and the way that, you know, Ahna is taking all this stuff, like constantly misinterpreting everything that he's saying, and, you know, like
it felt out of character for him. Yeah. Usually he knows what he's doing, and usually, I mean, I get it. Proposing to someone can be nerving. I
mean, it also felt out of character for her as well, because I mean, like, you know, did we ever see anything like that from her in the first movie?
I mean, she did almost marry a guy she just met.
Well, yeah, but
like, she is naive, but I feel like in the years that passed, like, she wasn't that naive, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she got hit it off with, and like, like if they had that many like misconfusions for like the 3 years they were together, then like then how would they be still together? Did you cut out? Am I cutting out? But it's like, see, I'm worried. I don't know if I'm interrupting you or not. Well, we lasted 50 minutes. I'm gonna check the live stream. Okay, so I still see myself. I don't see you moving. Okay, so I still see myself. I don't see you moving. Oh? No, I can't hear you. Oh? No, I can't hear you. They can still hear me though. I didn't even realize we had people in the chat. Hi guys. Oh, it happens to you too? Yeah, it's our first time live streaming anything, and like we did have a practice stream. I'm gonna mute myself on the live stream. We did have like a test run earlier this week, like when we were trying to make sure that like we had everything set up. I'm just double check, make sure he's not typing. Yeah, I think he's still trying to figure it out. If he can't get it working, we may have to reopen the stream. But what was I saying? This happens all the time. I'll be talking. We did a troubleshoot stream to like make sure everything was set up, and it didn't do this last week. I mean, we weren't streaming for like an hour, but ugh. All right, we'll see if James is still there. I mean, he's probably still there. Yeah, he didn't say that he can hear me or not. Okay, you can hear me. Yeah, he's trying to figure stuff out. Fuck, I don't remember where I was where we were talking about the movie, because I could, like, if you still want to figure it out, I can still like give my thoughts on like the character development and stuff. The problems I had with the movie, first of all, during the movie, all right, character development. I don't like what they did with Kristoff. I don't like that. Like for most of the movie, what he was about was trying to figure out how to propose to Ahna. I mean, there were parts where like, you know, he was serious. He was making sure Ahna was okay, picking her up with like Saban, but it didn't. You know, it was a movie more focused towards Elsa and Ahna, but and like you said, it also felt like Ahna was like being too naive with how he was putting things. You know, like I said, if it was like that for like 3 years of them being together, then like there would have been a lot more confusion. Like they probably would have split up by then. But like aside from that whole like that side plot going on, I do feel like you said, there are more stakes in the movie. Anna does care more about like Elsa being in like dangerous situations. I mean, she did care in the last movie, but like there's a scene where Elsa is like in the fire, like taking care of it with like her ice powers, and Anna is like literally trying to get in there and make sure she's all right. And like, you know, whenever Elsa is doing something dangerous, Anna is like talking to her seriously. Like she's always been like this like super cheerful, go happy character, and like while there is still that, she's also like caring and trying to make sure her sister's all right. And I feel like the movie fleshes out Elsa as well. She's a little more quiet. I mean, not quieter, like not, not quieter than the last movie, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like she's the introvert of the sister, and she's serious, the older sister, and I do like her as a character. She is bold. She wants to do good for her people. She doesn't want to be, and she doesn't like her powers like doing bad either, because you know that's something that was a huge thing in the first movie, where she was literally raised like with the doors closed for like most of her life. And that comes up later as well. Like if they found their parents in, not their parents, the boat that they were in. They find it crashed on the shore, and Elsa goes in there, and they find out that the reason why they're going out there was because to find out the source of Elsa's powers, which also kind of baffled me, because if they were looking for the source of Elsa's powers, wouldn't they? And I know they did technically hint at like they didn't outright say it, but they, you know, basically implied that their mom had wind powers, but like wouldn't she know where she got her powers if I don't know. Let me double check the chat. Stops on the exact frame. Wait, so Logan, would you know how to fix something like this? Or is it like something you'd have to like reopen the stream to fix? And I'm gonna turn the light on real quick, because it's really dark in here. Yeah, I thought it might have been. Because it was doing this in the beginning of the stream. Like we had issues pulling the stream up and or just the webcam. Hold on a sec. Because I can't hear James. But I see like a frozen frame of him. Or the software. Yeah, it could also be the software. Have you ever used Studio.Go Lightstream? Go Lightstream? James said in our private guest chat, Frozen. Frozen live stream where both cameras are not moving. Alright, Logan says he uses OBS. I mean, I'm guessing you're also reading the chat, James. I can split this into 2 tabs. Because I've never used OBS. I don't think either of us are like super techie with that kind of stuff. It's free. James, Logan says OBS is free. Go look it up real quick. It's not important. I'm just curious. Alright, I'll look back at it. What were my other problems with the movie? Let me think. Because I know there was something. Or I thought there was something anyways. Because even though I did see it a few hours ago, I feel like I'm already forgetting some parts. Because, like, it was a really great movie. Most of the stuff from it, like, I probably would have given it a 5 out of 5 stars if, like, it had a darker ending and, like, the stakes were higher. And, like, you know, just because, I mean, it's a great kids movie even. Like, for a kids movie, it would be, like, a 5 out of 5. Like, no doubt. Did we ever touch on the humor? Babe. A little bit. We talked a little bit about humor. I also wanted to mention, because there are still like some. I mean, not much, but there is one other adult joke that I wanted to mention where they're taking a wagon to get to the Enchanted Forest, and like both Elsa and Olaf had fallen asleep, and Anna turns to Kristoff and she goes, they're both asleep. What do you want to do? And Kristoff goes, all right, Sven, starting the cart, and he steadies the cart, and that's when Kristoff tries to propose again, and there's more confusion. Hey, babe, if you left, I don't think that would work. I was gonna say if you left and rejoined the stream, would that fix it? But I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Which is better, Frozen 2 or Good Boys? Adult humor wise, Good Boys for sure. But Frozen was still like Good Boys if you're hanging out with the boys. Frozen if you're hanging out with the family is what I'd say. Frozen, I loved it. Oh, I can't figure out how to fix this, and I don't want to exit out of the stream. Oh, shit! What are we gonna do? Give him a second to respond. I may just have to finish it. James, I can't do. Maybe I can. Wait, so should I start wrapping it up then? Because I know you gotta go soon. It's already 4:24 over there. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were doing that tonight. I thought that was gonna be on Sunday. Oh! I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I thought you meant the other film. Wait, so when did you need to be out of your room though? 8 or 9? Okay. Did you still want me to wrap it up? Alright. We're gonna wrap up the stream in a second. Me and we have a private chat here that I can talk to him through. It sucks that his stream cut out. Like, I wanted to hear more about his opinions. What? Next time we stream, we can try OBS. I wouldn't know how it works, but I'm sure like Logan could help you out with that. Logan, are you still gonna see Frozen? I could try. I would have to. I could. The only two places. Wait. I have my iPad. Because I can't play it on my computer because I have my headphones on, and my computer doesn't have speakers. Unless my iPad is dead. In that case, then I will play it on my phone. But my phone is also my camera. You may do a YouTube tutorial and you may see Frozen. Yeah, me and James would like highly recommend it. Like even during like the spoiler part of the live stream, like it won't take away like the enjoyment from the film, like sitting through it. It's feels very refreshing. Oh, James. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I can't play the music. I mean, maybe I can. It would just have to be. I'd either have to like play it on my. No, I don't think I can play it on my phone because I gotta keep the webcam up. I mean, I don't have to keep the webcam up if I'm playing the song out. Would that be okay? Play it on my TV. That's actually a good idea. One sec, guys. I need my remote. Depression is real, my friends. That it is, Logan. Alright, hold on. My remote doesn't. I never know where to put it. Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm only dressed from the waist up because I didn't expect to be standing up during the live stream. I'm gonna play the outro on the TV. It's a spoiler from the song, but it's a really good song. I'm gonna wrap this stream up so we can troubleshoot this and start off with volume low. As you're doing the outro, turn the volume up. I got you, babe. It's not gonna be as amazing as the stuff that you do, but I'm gonna do this for you. And for the viewers. Just give me a second, because sometimes it takes a second for my Fire Stick to trigger. Like, I gotta wake up my Amazon stick. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see my TV during. That's normal too. Like, I don't really have a sound way to turn it on. There you go. Just give me a second. James, how would you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5? I can pull up the live stream on the TV. It's volunteering right now. 4 out of 5. James gives it a 4 out of 5. We'd both recommend it. I don't even have to ask James to know that. I know he loved the fuck out of this movie, and I did too. He literally watched it twice. Pull up Into the Unknown by Panic at the Disco. Would have been a 5 out of 5 had it gone for a darker ending. Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Like, it's a 5 out of 5 as a kid movie, but like if it was aimed towards teenagers, maybe not so much. That's an advertisement. We're not sponsored by them. Oh, you can't see it. Psych. Let's go to live stream, James. I'm sorry your camera had to cut out. Oh, that's so good. The music is great too. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. James, is it alright if I wrap it up from here? Because I got it pulled up in the background. I'm ready to wrap up if you are. If there's any other thoughts that you want me to like convey to our viewers, I can get that out for you. Go for it. Alright. That wraps it up for this stream, guys. Thank you for coming along. Me and James both had fun, even with the technical issues. We're fun, or at least he's gonna do it again. I'll probably live stream another one. Can't say when, but I would highly recommend this movie. Thank you for watching our stream. And this is Anne Marie signing out, and this is James signing out. James, did I do good?